Alright, I think let's get this video started so we can get finished. Is a customer's console, so we need to get the repair done. There's no use waiting for people. They can watch the stream at a later stage again. So we have a PS4 original. The customer has booked it in for no visuals. Upon inspection, just a quick look at it, I can see that the HDMI port is not damaged. It might be damaged on the inside, but we'll see once we open it up. So what I'll do is I'm going to change the view so you guys can see from the top. I just want to take let's just take the customer's details off the console so that we can keep that private. Alright, let's change the view here to see. I think we need to go to view 1. Alright, let's have a look. Let's make sure that comes through properly. Alright, let's have a look. Let's start from there. Let's get some lights on the situation. Alright, so in this live stream I'll show you guys how to diagnose the problem when a PS4 has no visuals, and why it's got no visuals. First of all, like I said, it's mostly HDMI ports that usually go. We get that quite often, and the other problem is usually somewhere on the HDMI circuit itself where there's a problem, where something's failed. So it's like maybe the HDMI IC, or they also call it HDMI encoder IC, or it might be filters on the, I'm just going to move this mic a little bit closer for you guys, or it might be filters on the main board itself where there's a problem, where they also blow. So I'm going to show you guys now how to test them, and if it's encoder IC that needs to be redone, we'll have to redo that. We'll have to put a new one on. Like I said, that is a problem. I see now that there's a screw in the wrong place, so there's a very good chance somebody's worked on this console already. I must say the HDMI port does look a bit skewed, so somebody might have just tried to replace the HDMI port and they didn't come right. Most guys don't, or most companies here in South Africa don't know how to do board level repairs. Excuse me. They just know how to replace certain items on the board. Well, the easy stuff, you know. They don't have to do the bigger stuff. Most guys can only do power supplies. They can't even change out a laser. They can't do anything else on them. So yeah, so I can already see that there's a problem here. This whole plate's been bent up here, so somebody's definitely worked on this console. So let's just get this popped open. So this might be a bit of a nightmare repair. We get so many repairs where we got to fix somebody else's problems after the customers have unfortunately taken them to somebody else, and they try and do the repair first and they can't get it right. They usually butcher the board, you know, so badly that we sometimes even need to rebuild traces, and these are companies that's been around for quite a while, and they're quite popular, but they obviously got no regard for customers' consoles, so they don't care. And if they can't get it right, what they will usually do is they'll actually strip the console and take the parts out of it, and then they use the good parts, and they will use the good parts for another customer's console that they got in the shop that's been lying there for weeks probably, but they don't import their own parts. So then they would take your console's parts and fix that customer's console, because obviously that customer's on their back and he wants his console. So they're just waiting for the right opportunity for the right console to come in to take that part from your console and fix that customer's console. It's been waiting. You know the saying, it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah. Fun times. And it's quite a pity because what will happen is often we have to replace parts, so it costs a lot more to actually do the repair then. Alright, so we can see it's not very clean, so I don't know, we'll see. Maybe this is just, maybe the repair's been done on this one a while back, you know, maybe it's not recently. You can see there's a lot of dust. Fans also dust everywhere, so maybe it's just a repair that was done a while back. Alright, I already see there's another problem. So obviously it's not going to have a good Wi-Fi or Bluetooth signal because the antenna's been plugged out of the board. I just hope they haven't broken it off the board. Doesn't look like it. So it looks like it's at least on the board still. Okay, so let's plug that out. Alright, that's plugged out already. We don't need to plug that out. Plug the flex out for the drive. What have they done? What have they done? Okay, power to the drive. That's plugged out. Alright, let's flip it around. Let's get to this board. Let's get this board out so we can see what's going on here. Okay, fan. And we'll start with the bracket that pushes down onto the main processor. We should have actually just had a look at what this machine was doing first, because there's actually a very good chance this might be a blue light of death. I actually didn't even diagnose the problem first. Anyway, let's have a look quickly. Let's just check the board first. Sorry guys, I know on the live streams it takes a little bit longer now because obviously we need to strip the machine down. Maybe in the future what I'll do is I'll actually strip the machine down first and then get to the main board. Then at least you guys don't have to watch, but we can have a chat, you know. You guys can ask me some questions in the chat if we when we're live. I'll keep an eye on that and try and answer any questions that you have. And while I'm stripping the machine down, maybe we should do that, you know, like I said, it's first live stream. We'll take it from there. Take it from there. We'll play it about here. Okay, everything looks good here. All the little thermal pads are still there for the RAM chips, so at least they're not overheating. I'm just a bit worried. I can see there's it's been melted on the board already. So somebody has attempted a repair once upon a time. We'll move to the aim scope just now so we can see. Let's just get this board out here first. But I can see already it's been worked on. Well, maybe I should just show you guys where that is. So this area here, encoder IC is underneath that metal plate. This has been melted. This LAN, the side of the bottom of the LAN port. We'll try and move it up a little bit so you guys can see. But I'll show you guys under the scope. So that has been melted. So that's how I know straight away it's been worked on this console. Alright, okay, thermal pads are falling off, so it's just, there's missing thermal pads also. So on the bottom side there's also these RAM chips, and I can see there's only 3 and there's 2 on the plate on the bottom side, so those are also missing. So we'll just have to replace one there, but that's not really good, because what happens with that is if there's no oh, this board looks bad. Anyway, so if there's no thermal pads on these RAM chips, it can overheat. You can pop your RAM chips and then we can replace the RAM chips. It just gets a bit pricey, gets a bit expensive then. But that's the problem when you go to people that don't really do repairs. Unfortunately, they don't know. Most of the repair guys that do that don't know how to look out for things like that. Just going to clean the thermal paste off here, because we will put new thermal paste on. We don't leave old thermal paste on the machine once we've taken the board out. You know, it's in any case, this isn't. It actually looks like original thermal paste still, but it's not very good quality. All right, let's get under the scope. I'm just going to change the view for you guys, and let's see what's going on this console, because I think this is going to be quite bad. I can already see it's burnt on the board, where somebody's trying to solder it on the board. I'm just going to move the scope at the right place here. I just hope it's this HDMI port, because this is going to be a nightmare if it's not. Let's just get the right view here. Alright, let's just zoom back out a little bit. Alright, let's try and focus that up. Focus, let's get some focus on that. I'm going to zoom out, zoom down. Alright, let's see. Let's have a look if we can get a proper view here. Okay, so if you are viewing from South Africa, welcome. If you can hear me, please say something in the chat. Just say, hey, how's it? I hope you guys are all safe. Going through quite rough times here at the moment with all the you know what. Can't mention it on Google, on YouTube, because the videos do get blocked when you talk about the times we're living in. So yeah, I hope you guys are all well on that side. So you can see, let's just flip this board around so I can show you guys on the other side. Look how this has been melted. There's one of the legs, the HDMI port. Gee, okay, so you can see this. It's quite bad, and this is a problem when you go to the wrong guys. You know, this is how they treat your machine very badly. It's not theirs, so they don't care. I'm just trying to get the mic in the right place so you guys can hear me. Alright, so as we can see now, we got those components. I don't see anything loose on the HDMI port, but we're going to quickly move them a little bit. So let's just get you guys in the middle there. Let's try and zoom in a little bit further so you guys can see the pins properly. So mostly when somebody's changed the HDMI port, they don't solder these pins properly. But I can see there's a diode there that's also been lifted a little bit on the top right. So we zoom in a little bit more. Let's get right down in there. Okay. Usually I try and put it at a bit of an angle so we can see. Let's just get something to put underneath it. Okay, so let's get that like that. Alright, let's zoom just a little bit out so we can see the pins, all of the pins. They didn't even clean the flux of the board, you know, after they worked on it. It's terrible, 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 terrible work. So I hope some of our customers are watching, because then you can see, you know, it takes quite a while to do some of these repairs, because most of them we get, they look like this, and unfortunately they hold up the whole repair queue, you know. It's because we got to spend at least 2-3 hours on these type of consoles. So all I'm going to do now is, my tweezer's tip is bent, but all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly check what's going on. I don't see you guys commenting on this video. I don't see you guys chatting at all. I just want to make sure that you guys can actually see. Let me just change my view. Sorry I'm messing you guys around. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, so please excuse me. I'm just trying to set up just so we can, in the future, we can have proper live streams, you know, so we won't have this problem. Let's just have a look. I don't see you guys. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay, that's probably the message you guys also see. Interesting. Yeah, it's not showing me anything here. Okay, well, let's just see here quickly. I'm going to share this to Facebook again, and let's just see if we can get more people coming. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are just not chatting at all. You guys aren't saying anything. Just type here, we live, so we can get a couple more guys going. We live. Okay. Motion recorded. Okay. Guys can come and watch from Facebook. Alright, let's just post Facebook. Again, I apologize. This is the first time I'm doing this live stream. Like I said, it's going to be something that we're going to test out, and let's check out, guys. Alright, so maybe we just got a couple of people on. We got quite a few people now, but maybe you guys are just quiet today. Maybe you guys don't want to chat. You don't want to talk to us. That's cool. That's alright. Alright, everything looks good there, I think. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the repair. I'm not going to keep you guys here, unless you got nothing to do on a Sunday. I only got into bed at like 2-3 o'clock this morning. We're so busy at the moment. It's school holidays here in South Africa. Well, it should be. And so yeah, the schools are very busy. Sorry, the schools are closed, so we're getting very busy right now. Alright, let's just have a look here quickly. So on each tip, what I'm going to do is, like I say, it's a tweezer. Alright, so all I'm going to do is, let's just move each pin. I'm just going to push each pin just to make sure it's not the pin itself, one of the pins that's loose. It might be, look, I won't leave this port on here. It's probably melted and very bad, you know. Let's just quickly, I'm just going to move all of them. You can actually see, if you look properly, the solder is so bad on here, you know. I don't know what these guys have done. It's like the port itself is actually higher, it's off the board, you know. It hasn't gone right down. It's not touching, but the solder is touching. I can see the solder's touching. Alright, so the port does look good, but it's the original port, and the reason I say that is if you look on the back, let's just quickly, I'm going to try and hold it up and I see it's, let's zoom out a little bit. So if you look on the back of this HDMI port, those are the pins that go to the board. They go onto the board, and the top silver ones you see there, those are the pins that go to your HDMI cable, so that'll make a connection with your HDMI cable. And the newer ports that we use, the version 2s, they don't have those pins there. So what often happens if your cable is, your HDMI cable is faulty and you push the HDMI port in, it'll push those pins back and it bends them and breaks them off. So let's just get back onto the other view here quickly. Alright, so yeah, again, welcome, thank you for watching. I'm going to quickly see if we can find an HDMI port here. So this is a PS4 original. Okay, so we have our HDMI ports, PS4 original, they're all brand new. We don't strip customers' consoles and use their parts for your repairs. So we actually buy new stuff. We import our own parts. So what I was going to say is that the HDMI port for your PS4 original and your HDMI port for your Slim and Pro aren't the same. Okay, so if you ever think of attempting to do this repair, be very careful. Order the right port. Okay, they are a little bit different. There's a slight change on them. So let's have a look. I think we're going to have to take this port off here. I think that's where we should start. I'm just worried about the diode. I'm going to flip you back on there again. Then I want to check that diode. There's one diode there that's giving me that I can see is not right. Just make sure you guys are on the view. All right. So the problem one is this first little black one there. But you can see everything's been moved. So what the guys have done, you can see they're actually standing skew. They put too much heat onto an area where they don't need to. That one is skew. That's flux still left there. That one doesn't look right to me. But we're going to quickly do a test here. That one looks okay. That's the bottom one at the bottom leg. Yeah, they look okay. We're just going to test with a test meter. So unfortunately, if you're doing something like this, you're going to have to well, look, I don't think your console is going to look like this because it's probably going to be new. So it won't look damaged like this one. You know, somebody that attempted already. Let's quickly get the test meter. We're going to put it in continuity mode. I'm just going to check for shorts first, just to make sure nothing's shorting on the board on this side by the HDMI port. So we're going to put our one probe on earth, on the earth. Let's just go back out here again. So we're going to use our negative lead, you can see it there, for our test meter. We're going to put that on the earth. Okay, the port is earthing, I'm sure you can hear that. Alright, so then we're just going to quickly check these caps first. So we're just going to go on to each side. We're not getting any shorts there. Okay, let's check the bottom one. But yeah, no, there's a problem here because it's not grounding on this side. Okay, so there is a problem that side. We're not getting earth. So you can see that's what it would do. So one side shouldn't make a noise, or it shouldn't beep, and the other side should. So as you can see, if we put it on earth, that's earth. When we go on this one, we're getting nothing, we're getting nothing, nothing, nothing. So let's check. Maybe our problem is this side here. Alright, so we're getting earth there, nothing that side. I think we're going to have a problem with the HDMI IC. Okay, so there we're getting another earth on the negative of that one. Okay, one's doing nothing. Getting earth there, that's good. There you can see on this one, yeah. Let's just move that up a little bit. Sorry, I was out of the view. So on these diodes, these black diodes, you'll see the one side's got a little line across it. So let's just have a look. Yeah, we got a problem here. We got quite a few problems here. This is going to probably be the HDMI. Let's just of the IC. Oh. Well, what a video for the first live stream, eh? Console that has got major problems. Let's just check the other side of the board. Just try and zoom you guys out here. So underneath this steel plate is the HDMI encoder. So that's where the problem is right now. I can almost guarantee it's the HDMI encoder that's the problem. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to remove it, the plate, and then we'll have to just do the new HDMI encoder. I think before we do that, before we put the port on, let's do the coder. So we're just making sure that there's no shorts on the, or it's grounding properly again. So let's just switch the view back to the top view. Okay, so first of all, let's put our everything on here. Alright, so we got everything back on. Get some light there. Okay, so we can use some flux. So on this plate here, it's got some legs that actually hold the plate to the board, that's soldered to the board. So all we do is we put some flux. I can see there's been flux being put here already, so somebody's definitely tried to do something here. Yeah, and I don't know what they've done. I hope they haven't damaged this board and shorted out even more on this board, so it might not even come right. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. We have about a 95% success rate on these repairs, so well, on most repairs. Okay, so keep on bumping the mic here. Alright, so we're going to put that board like, let me just get it around so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's move the light back a bit. Alright, so we're going to use our hot air station. We're going to remove the plate now. As you can see, it's not a hot air gun, so don't get it confused for hot air gun. It's not a hot air gun, it's a proper hot air station. So we're just going to warm this plate up gradually so we can pull it off properly, and then replace the, well, I just want to check underneath this. You'll see there's, once we got it off, there's 4 filters on the board, and those 4 filters, if they pop, then you also get no visuals. The port we'll have to replace. I don't trust the port, so we'll see now. Let's just get the one thing done at a time. Let's diagnose the problem first. So once we've got the encoder IC off, we'll be able to see if we're getting any shorts on the board and if the diodes are reading after that. But you have to, unfortunately, take the encoder IC off the board first. That's the unfortunate thing. Alright, let's just start getting our tweezers underneath there. See if we can start getting it loose down. So we just, in the beginning you'd see I was just doing wide circles around just to get some heat into the board. These boards have got a lot of copper in them, so it takes a long time to, sorry, I keep on bumping this mic. It takes a long time to start getting some heat into this plate, because once, if you just heat the plate, the copper in the board will just suck up all the heat, so it just gets quite difficult to take it off. So you've got to heat up around the board first, so the copper is warm, and then you heat this up. Like you can see, it takes some time. There we go. The one corner is loose, other corner is loose, so we're getting it lifted down. Sorry guys, I know that the wand was in the way, the wand, but yeah, that's, I couldn't really, it's only what I can see. Okay, so the encoder IC has now been exposed. Let's go back to the scope so we can, so I can show you what we test there. Just make sure the view's right. So we're going to go to view number 3. Yeah, let's go number 3. At least you guys can watch, you can see everything. So that's the Panasonic HDMI encoder. It's the 471A. The Slim and the Pro is different. They don't have these little copper legs that you see here. The legs are underneath the chip and then onto the board. Okay, so let's have a look. So as you can see, there's 4 little square, these little square guys here. These are all the filters. So if they blow or they're faulty, you're also going to get no visuals. Okay, so let's start testing those. Let's try and zoom in there a bit, show you guys how we test them. So you know when you want to diagnose the problem, you know what to do. To be very honest with you guys, if you don't have the equipment to do this, rather not attempt it. Okay, I'm not saying that just because I want you to bring your repairs in there. You can see how I wouldn't say difficult. Well, in the beginning it is difficult to do them, you know, but eventually after a lot of practice. But we do a lot of machines, so you know, the more, you know, we're like anything, the more practice you get in, the better you get. So alright, so yeah, if you do this on a regular basis, it's probably not that difficult, but obviously I'm going to say that now because I've been doing this for a couple of years already. Let's get our test meter on again. So we're back into continuity mode, touch our probes together. Okay, so we're getting continuity. Okay, so on these little guys here, it's going to be difficult to see on the scope, but they got 2 points, sorry, 4 points on one square. So there's a point there, a point on that side, a point on that side, and one on that side. Okay, so when you touch your probe here and the second one you put there, okay, so there's another problem. You're supposed to get a beep, alright, like that. Okay, so we're not getting that. Okay, there we go. Maybe it's just a bit of a flux there. Alright, so, but now, when I go, okay, so that's straight across. That's going straight across the line. I'm getting continuity. But now I'm going to go across from that one. And if I get something there, a beep there, then we got a problem. Okay, so then it's either this filter that's blown or the HDMI encoder. But the HDMI encoder can give a problem, but it won't short out here. So there I can see I've got nothing. Let's go to the one straight across from it. Perfect. No, what's going on? Okay, there we go, it's perfect. Let's check, leave the bottom. Okay, no, it looks good. Okay, let's leave the bottom. Now we're going to jump to the other one. While we got this one on here, we're going to jump to the first one here. Nothing. Okay, that's good. We don't want anything there. There, it's across, that's perfect. It's a straight line. But no, nothing there. Back there. Okay, so I'm just doing it slowly now because I'm trying to show you guys what to do. Okay, so you just repeat the process. Like you saw, we jumped from that one across, nothing, cool, works. Now you jump back again. So you just keep doing that. Okay, so you just keep going across. That one's got, yes, we're right. Yes, perfect. Okay, last, whoa, what happened there? Yeah, okay. Go back to that one, nothing, perfect. Across. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. Across that way, nothing. There we go, that's perfect. So we want to see that. Okay, so that I'm happy with. Now, the encoder IC itself has got a couple of capacitors around it. Get you into view here quickly there. Alright, so we've got a couple of capacitors in that here. So you can run a quick test just to check if these are shorting. Alright, so what I do is I put it on ground. I'm just using the HDMI port. Okay, I'm getting ground signal. Let's test this side. That's perfect. Perfect. Other side. Good. Good. Okay. We only want one side to make continuity. We don't want the other side to do it, okay? If you're getting from the other side too, then you know there's a problem. It's shorting out. Either the component or it's a short on the board somewhere. Alright, let's zoom this out quickly. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to remove this encoder IC off the board. Let's, while we're here, let's just check these other ones quickly. There's a few here. It's just, I might as well. You see, not all of them are connected, so remember the circuit is different, so you're not going to get a beep on every single one of them. Okay, I think let's remove this HDMI code. I think our problem is there. You can see how this board looks. It's not. Okay. Anyway, let's get that off. So again, the most important thing of any removing of any components would be your flux. You don't have flux, proper flux. This is Amtech flux. It's not a genuine one. I see it's a copy that we got. They're just a bit difficult to find. So the first thing is we're going to put flux right around the HDMI IC or encoder, whatever is easier for you to remember. So we can get the solder nice and loose so we can get the IC off. Okay, just going to make sure I got you guys in a proper view there. Yep, you're still in view. Okay, let's start removing that encoder IC. So the hot air station does make a bit of noise. It's like basically like a hairdryer. It just blows hot air. So you set your degrees to 490 degrees, and our fan speed is full. So what we need to do now is we just need to wait for everything to start flowing and melting on the IC itself. This is one of the easier ICs to do. The PS4 Pro and the Slim and the second gen of the PS4 Originals IC is completely different. I'll show you guys one day when I replace one of those. Those are, they're a lot more difficult to replace. It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice to be successful with removing one of those. And well, removing is fine, it's getting it back on the board. So you can see it takes a lot of heat, before anything melts. And that's why I say these boards have got a lot of copper in them. You can see the copper sticking through at some of the points. Probably in your view again, so you guys probably can't see anything. But yeah, I think you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so the IC is now being removed. Just make sure you do this nice and carefully. So that there you can see it properly. It's a 471A. Okay, so this is the first gen. Second gen, they changed the IC. Smaller, but it's got no legs. So when I say legs, you can see around this IC it's got legs on it attached to the board. Right, so that's also removed. Put that on one side. So make sure all the pads look good here. They haven't damaged any of the pads. Let's clean this board just so you guys can see, otherwise you're not going to be able to see anything. So we use isopropanol, so get the view right, and we use a brush. This is a anti-static brush. Just scrub it clean, get rid of some of that flux all over, so we can inspect the board properly. Alright, let's get a Q-tip, earbud, as us South Africans nowadays. Let's just remove that. Okay, let's get some more alcohol. I'm sure I've made a mistake somewhere setting up this live stream, because I can see or I just got viewers that just don't talk, because I don't see anybody typing anything or comments that they can even hear me. So maybe I'll put the comments off somewhere, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let's have a look. Nah. About chat? No chat. Like I say, maybe I just got very quiet viewers. Alright, so now what we do is, on the standard on main boards, when they manufacture, they use a, I keep on bumping the cable, the mic, sorry guys, sorry. So on standard, what they would do is they use a lead-free solder. Lead-free solder has a much higher melting point, so it's a little bit more difficult to solder and melt. As you can see there, it took me quite a while to get that chip off because of the higher temperature that that lead-free solder needs. So what we do is we don't use lead-free solder. We only use solder that's got lead in. I know it's not ideal, but you can watch any video and you'll see that. Well, when I say ideal, it's not for the console, but it's for us working on the console. It's not very good for your health, especially breathe it in. But I think you need quite a large amounts before you'll get any problems. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our soldering iron with a little bit of a bigger tip on it. Alright, so this tip helps us to get a bit more heat into the board. And what we do then is we add lead solder. So we add lead solder into it. So we add it to the lead free, so that when I'm putting the IC back onto the board, it just makes things flow so much better, and it's much quicker. So it just helps everything melt. The melting points are a lot lower. Okay, maybe we need some flux. Never forget your flux. Without flux, you're going to struggle and struggle and struggle. and without the right soldering iron or the right tip on your soldering iron, it's going to be a nightmare. You're just going to get frustrated. Okay, so let's just put our tip into some of the flux there. Let's just get some flux here. So as you'll see now, I'm going to add a bit more flux running off the board. As you'll see, all we're going to do is we're going to turn these up. Okay, just going to run it in. So basically we're just mixing in the I should have put my I should have actually put my filter on there, so that you can get rid of some of the smoke. Anyway, so we're just mixing in some flux so that we don't need, sorry, on some leaded solder. I'll keep repeating myself anyway. I've told you why. Okay, so we don't take off the old solder, which you can, but we don't need to. Alright, so that all looks good. Alright, let's get a new HDMI IC. All the components are still on board. So look quickly. So that's a 7-1. Okay, so we use a brand new 7-1. What's 7-1, eh? Yeah, 7-1 IC, as you can see there. Buy them brand new in strips. They're not stripped off somebody's console. Again, probably say that quite a lot in my videos because we get it on a daily basis, you know, where these thieves keep stealing customers' parts, especially in these times that it's been so hard, you know, hard times. They're getting quite desperate. So I'll probably keep on repeating myself. Right, so let's just get the IC. You can probably see it sticking out. Okay, so your IC, you got to put it on the right way around. Okay, if you maybe were watching the video and keep, you know, and you're paying attention, you would have seen that the Panasonic would have been that way around. So Panasonic will be like that. But the way you can see, I just don't know if you guys can be able to see this on the camera, on the scope. So most chips, their pin number 1 will always be marked with a circle. Let me show you guys quickly. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's focused. Right, so pin 1 is where the circle is, okay, on the chip. So if you look at the chip where I got my tweezer, I know there's a delay, guys, I'm sorry, it's this microscope, I need to get a new camera for it. They're just 18,000 Rand, so one day I'll get an HDMI camera for you guys so we can do a bit of a better videos. But anyway, you still can see, so that chip's got a circle on there. You'll see it says C24, and then if you look on the board, there's a little copper circle here. It's a little round circle there. That little circle means pin number 1, where that circle is, pin number 1 must be on pin number 1 on the board where that circle is. So you've got to line that up. So that's something, that's a small thing, but if you don't do that right, obviously it's not going to work. Okay, so if the chips the orientation isn't right, then it's not, you know, it can't make a connection. The pins aren't in the right place, so it's going to short it out again, or it's going to cause damage to something else. You know what, before I put this on, I think let's just test these. Actually, they were fine. They were fine. So what you'll see is we're going to line up these pins. So it's little, it takes a bit of time. Just zoom back in here again so we can see that our pins are lined up on the board. Just checking on the monitor there that you guys can see. Okay. So let's have a look. So those top pins are Okay, they lined up, but the whole chip needs to move up. Okay, should push it to the side. Alright, they look pretty lined up. They don't have to be perfect right now, because what happens is when you bring in the heat from the hot air station, they automatically, it will pull them closer to the soldering. Okay, but you got to be careful that you don't blow it away. So you got to just start off further away with your hot air station, and you come in slowly. Just get your focus back in there again. Sorry guys, I know it takes a bit of a while. There we go. It's good enough. I'm just going to leave it like that. You know what we're doing. Alright, so let's just keep our tweezer close by, so if we blow the chip, we blow it away with the air, we can just grab it again. So yeah, you guys can see now, you know, when customers want to repair within an hour, what we got to go through sometimes. You know, we can't always do it within an hour. We try our best, but you know, if you've got a lot of repairs like this, it takes a while. You know, it takes some time. It's not something quick. Like I say, the more you do it, the faster it does get, the quicker you get with it. But I think one of the good things about the live streams, oh shucks, moved it too much. See, what happens is we've got too much flux, at the chip will float. It will float on the liquid, and then it will move too far. Let's just try and just push it down slightly. There we go. So the good thing with the live streams, like I was going to say, is at least you guys can see what it takes. You know, when we do repairs. You know, we're not lying to you guys when we say, hey, listen, yeah, you know, some repairs take about a day or two to diagnose, and unfortunately it does. You know, some repairs take a little while. They, like this one. This is going to be a fault finding one, I think. We'll check it now. Because I've got a feeling it's not going to be HMIC, but it doesn't matter. It's not such a big story. Take it off and put it on again. Okay, so just hold it down there a little bit. Okay, solder should be nice there. Put some alcohol again. Scrub this board just so we can see that we got it on the right place. I just think the only problem with these live streams is going to take very long to complete a repair, but like I say, I'll post the video on our live stream playlist afterwards. Then at least you can always come back and look at it later, or you can just fast forward. Okay, obviously not a live stream, but afterwards when it gets posted to our live stream playlist, and you can just go back and watch again. Right, let's zoom back into this IC. It's a bit bright. There we go. Okay, so what we're trying to find here to make sure we review. We're going to look at these takes a bit of fine tuning. So what I'm looking for now is any bridges between these pins. Set the brightness down on the LED lights a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Okay, so what I'm looking for is in between the pins. We got to make sure they're not touching or any solder has jumped from one side to the other. That looks good. I don't see any problems there. Let's just double check that all the pins are actually soldered. So the same thing as what I do with the HDMI ports, you just push the pins, you check if they're all soldered. Don't push too hard, because if you bend it and it breaks off the top by the chip, you need another one. You're going to have to replace it. Just double check, unless you're willing to build a new trace from the chip to the board, and it takes extra time again. So that's all soldered. Let's go one by one, smooth in. What I usually do sometimes, if I've got a bit more time, I would run the soldering, well, it's probably the same thing, but you can run the soldering iron across the pins just to make sure that they melt again after this. It's up to you, but if they're on, they're on, they're not going anywhere. Okay, looks good, looks like a little took. So again, hope you guys appreciate it when we say the repair is going to take a day or two. Like I said, it might not be your repair that's going to take a day or two, but the problem is when we got 5 or 6 of these repairs, and this isn't even, there we go, that one's loose, that one's loose. So, and you can see that. Yeah, I see that the scopes camera isn't very, it's delayed. So that one is loose, so that one I've got to redo that one. Okay, so I'm just going to touch it with a soldering iron, just to make sure it melts. That one's good. Because one of these pins can give you a problem if it's not making connection, and you won't have visuals. It will keep on giving you the white light. You know, this is basically the same as a white light of death. I actually just made a big mistake because I didn't actually test this console before I even stripped it down for you guys. Start working on it. Stupid mistake. Anyway, I think I was more trying to concentrate on getting the live stream working. It's too bright for me, so I was trying to figure out how that works, and I see that's it's quite a mission. We'll get there, slowly but surely we'll get there. We're just going to find that pin. Alright, so zoom in a little bit more. Okay, then we're going to touch it with soldering. I think it was, which pin was it? I'll flip the board around so I can get in there with a soldering iron quickly. I think it was this one, yeah. So maybe now you can see when I push it a bit. Okay, so that's the pin, that's the problem. Let's grab our soldering iron quickly, just touch it. Okay, everything's falling, grab it with one end. Alright, so all we need to do is just touch that tip. Just get you guys in the view here. Just touch it. So this soldering iron, you'll see it's got a very, very, very fine tip on it. And all we do is we just touch it there. Okay. Just double check the one next to it also. Okay. Looks good. Pop that back. Just double check it with the tweezer again. Yeah, perfect. Okay, looks good. Right. So let me just move the scope and just change the view here. Okay, so what we do then is isopropanol, liquid, and our brush, and we clean. Alright, because flux can cause a problem if it's, especially if it's like big lumps, you know, then it can cause a problem in the long run. So we want to make sure it's mostly clean. Okay, that's done. Let's just get some hot air to dry for alcohol. Done. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop it back in the board, knock into the chassis of the machine, and then I'm just going to quickly run it again just to see if it works. We don't have to assemble the whole machine, and the machine needs a very, very good clean. It's a bit bad. It's terrible. You can see the dust, but the problem is the corrosion. The corrosion on the steel plates can create a short also. Okay, so if you've got a tumble dryer or a dryer. I think that's what they probably call it in the States, a dryer. It can create moisture in that, you know, especially if if you're staying in a smaller place and your tumble dryer is maybe close by, close to like the wall unit or something in the lounge, and it creates condensation. So what happens is the board, the steel plates, they start rusting, and components start touching the rust or the plates because of the corrosion buildup, and then eventually it will also short the board out. This thing doesn't feel right here. What these guys have done here. I don't know. We put a plate and we'll go back down. I think they just bent the plate a little bit. Alright, so the plate feels okay. Okay, so let's just get the we're not going to, like I say, we don't need to assemble the whole thing. That's all we need now. All we want to do is we just want to know that it's got visuals, because like I say, we need to strip the whole thing down anyway, so there's no use assembling the whole thing, cleaning everything now, and then we've got to put more flux on the board or solder again. Okay, that one is bent back up again. Just going to make sure I've got to keep an eye on the time. I've got something else to do still today, but I'm going to try and see if we can get this right quickly for you guys. But at least you guys can see more or less what we do here, and what it entails. Okay, these guys, I tell you, they strip these screws. Might have to replace that one, or we might have to replace the heatsink if it's stripped, but it looks like it's taking, it's not stripped or anything, it is going in. Maybe it's just a bit tight because it's dirty. Alright, so let's plug the hard drive in. No, wait, before that let's quickly put the power supply in there, and we don't really need any of these plugged in, but I plug them in just so they don't get damaged when you're putting the power supply in. Okay, let's plug that in. Drive power. The Wi-Fi I'm just going to leave for now. I'm not going to plug that in now. So we're going to have to plug it out in any case when we clean it. Alright, so we need the power cable for the power supply. Plug that in there. Okay, that's in. And before I put this power supply back in, I'm going to actually clean it quickly because I don't trust this dust. It can blow the power supply. Let's just clean that. Might make a bit of a noise. Okay, much better. What happens is that dust it goes between two components, either even on the board it can happen, but inside the power supply they touch two components in the inside and they short each other out. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it's just me and this cat that keep on bumping this mic. Sorry guys. There's a lot of dust in here, and you can see it's those little woolen little balls, wool balls, or whatever you call them, little dust bunnies, I think some people call them dust bunnies. So they catch up, they get caught up between two components on the board, and then they'll short out, so they cause a problem there. So what we need to do now is I'm going to do a quick test. I'm just trying to think how we can do this. Okay, I'll do a quick test on our testing side there, and I'll be back. Let's quickly have a look. I'm going to try and see if I can get you guys. Let's see if we can move you guys. move this machine. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. It's going to be quite a mission. Let's try and stick you guys in there. Okay. Alright, so the mic's not going to work very well, but I'm sure you can see. I could try and move the mic a little bit to the side, but you'll be able to see on the camera. So let's have a look quickly. So make sure you guys can see the lights on the board. Alright, so basically the light there, by the on-off switch, we want that to turn blue and give us a picture on the screen. If it stays white, we still got a problem with the HDMI circuit. So let's test it. So the lights are blue. Let's see what happens. They're still going, they're still blue color. I don't think you can see it on the camera so well. So we need them to change to, well, they must stay blue, but they need to give us visuals. But if they go to white, that means that there's still a problem with the HDMI side. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a blue light of death on this console, and I don't think it's the HDMI side. The port does look quite bad, but I think it's something else. Let's have a look. Okay, it's a long flashing blue. You get short flashing blues and you get long flashing blues that stay on. See it staying on and staying blue. Let's have a look. Sorry about that camera. One tip I will give you is never ever buy a Hikvision webcam, especially the 180p. You can see what it does. It actually glitches every now and then. Piece of rubbish. But we'll get a proper camera set up later on. Okay, so we got a bigger problem. This is not white light of death. I should have tested it, like I say, before I stripped it. This is a blue light. Alright, so it's not the encoder IC. So if your console comes on but it keeps staying a blue, then you know, and it keeps on pulsing blue and it stays blue, but it doesn't go to white with no visuals, then you know that's something else. Okay, it's not the IC. It's going to be something else on the main board. We're going to have to try and find the problem. I'm just going to try something else now. Let's just give it a little bit more time. Okay, it's staying blue, so it's not doing anything. So let's try and boot it up. I'm going to quickly move away from the mic. I'm going to try and boot it up into the safe mode. Just see if we get any visuals on 570p. It might. Let's have a look. Let's try that out. Alright, so we got a bigger problem. So I've just noticed now when you switch it on, there's no beep, so it doesn't make the beeping noise. Okay, so that means it's a bigger problem. It's not white light like we thought. So, but at least you guys saw how to change the encoder IC and how to diagnose some of the things on the board. Again, like I said, you know, these things happen. I should have checked the machine before did the video, but at least you guys can see how we work here and sort of what our setup is. So the machine just on the other side, that's called a BGA machine, so we'll have to redo the main processor. But let's try something quickly. Let's see if we get visuals if we push down on that board, because if it does, we know it's the main processor. Let's try that out. Let's see if we get any visuals. Alright, still nothing. So obviously it's going to be the blue light of death. Could be the GPU, or you might call it the APU. Let's move this camera again. So GPU, APU, could be Southbridge chip, and I've got a funny feeling it might be Southbridge because it's not making that beeping noise when you switch it on. So that's going to be a lot more diagnosing on this machine. So yeah, at least you guys still did see the video, and like I say, sorry that it wasn't a successful repair on video, but we will get it fixed, and then we'll do another repair again next week again. I'll try and do another live stream for you guys, and hopefully we got a bit more success on video. This one will probably quickly run during a week on the machine and strip it down. Hope you guys enjoy your Sunday, and stay safe, especially here in South Africa right now, and yeah, look after yourselves, and yeah, stay home and play games. Don't go anywhere. Well, we can't go anywhere in any case if you're in the Gauteng area. We can't leave the province. But yeah, we're in tough times now again. So please guys, stay safe out there, and thank you very much for all of you that has watched. And again, sorry that it didn't come right on video, but we're going to do a couple of these, and we'll get a couple of successful ones on video. Have an awesome Sunday. Thank you very much. Bye bye.